They're saying, let's take public funds and give it to the gas corporations that pay no tax at the moment and that make massive super profits. This is a subsidy for big corporations that pay no tax and pollute and kill our planet. Why are they getting this money? It's because they make donations. So they make donations to the Liberal Party, Labor Party, National parties, millions of dollars of donations, and they get their way. And what's even more astonishing is that this Clean Energy Finance Corporation is making a profit at the moment, because it's investing in clean energy technologies, and that's the future, and it's making a return to government. And this government wants to turn a profit-making Clean Energy Finance Corporation into a venture that invests in losing money on gas, because it knows that public subsidies for gas are the only way that gas is going to be profitable. So it's turning a profit-making corporation into something that's going to start losing money on its gas investments because it wants to bankroll them, and it wants to bankroll gas investments, knowing that no one in their right mind is looking at investing in new fossil fuel investments, so they're coming to the government with their hand out, and this government of largesse and donations and subsidies for big corporations is turning around and giving it to them, not asking these big corporations to pay more tax. It's instead just giving them massive public subsidies. And from this government that says, oh, technology, not taxes, we've got to let the market decide, they're about to open up the $10 billion that exists in the Clean Energy Finance Corporation and make it available to big gas corporations. Now, we know that gas is as dirty as coal. We know that methane, which leaks when you send down fracking under good farmland or land across Australia, that's released into the atmosphere, is up to 86 times more potent than CO2 as a greenhouse gas. We know that if we unleash the gas that is there in the Beetaloo Basin or in other places around Australia, we can say goodbye to making our contribution to giving our kids a safe climate to live in. We know that the technology is there now with renewables and storage to drive a clean energy revolution. But what does this bill do? This bill comes in and says, let's make public money available for gas corporations. And I notice, the members have gone on the other side have gone very quiet about this, because for all their free market rhetoric, they can't wait to shovel billions of dollars out the door to give to their mates in the gas corporations, who are the same corporations that turn around and donate to them. The biggest gas corporations in this country over the last few years brought in about $50 billion in revenue and paid zero tax. Zero tax. They did make some donations. They made some donations to the government, they made some donations to the Labor Party, they paid zero tax. You'd think the argument should be, with big gas corporations that are contributing to wrecking our planet, you'd think the starting point should be, pay some tax on the massive super profits that you're making and contribute a bit to the cost of dealing with the climate crisis. But no, this supposed free market government that says it loves technology and won't want to interfere in the unleashing of technology is about to take the Clean Energy Finance Corporation and its $10 billion that is there to drive the uptake of clean technologies in Australia and make it available to dirty, polluting gas, make it available to toxic methane. How is it going to do that? Well, the definitions in this bill changes the definition of what counts effectively as clean energy, what counts as low emissions technology, and it expands it to explicitly include gas. And I'm waiting for the spirit of defence from the member for Goldstone about why there's massive public subsidies going to big corporations in his supposed free market. I'm not hearing very much. I'm not hearing very much, because all of the free market technology, not taxes rhetoric, dissolves into dust when it comes to subsidising their big corporate mates. Big corporations have too much power over politicians. They exercise that power through the political donations, and in return they get things like this bill. a massive multi-billion-dollar slush fund for big gas. And people wonder why the cost of going to the doctor keeps going up, or why when you send your kids to school, at a public school, you get hit with all these voluntary school fees, and what's meant to be free education turns out to be far from it. Why is everyone else having to pay more? It's because these big corporations get away with paying no tax. And instead of rectifying it, the government is about to give them even more money. The government is about to give them even more public money. This Clean Energy Finance Corporation was set up by the Greens and Labor in the power-sharing Parliament of 2010. This government has tried to destroy it. This government tried to wipe out all of that legacy. The only time pollution in this country came down is when the Greens, Labor and Independents worked together and put a price on pollution and put in place the Clean Energy Finance Corporation, put in place the Australian Renewable Energy Agency, put in place things like the Carbon Farming Initiative. And it has worked. And the government tried to get rid of this CEFC. The government does not want this body to exist. The government does not want there to be a profitable government-owned organisation that helps clean technologies expand, because that's what the Clean Energy Finance Corporation does. It was established to say, when these new technologies that are invented pass the proof of concept phase, so to speak, and they turn out to be viable propositions, we will use public funds to help them grow and help them become self-sustaining businesses. And it has worked. The CEFC has invested $8.2 billion of public money to generate $29 billion of new economic activity to support jobs, new infrastructure and bring new clean technologies online. And this technology that the Prime Minister loves talking about doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes out of organisations like the CEFC supporting researchers and businesses to take their ideas and turn them into viable commercial enterprises. And that is what the CEFC is there for. And that's why, because renewables are the future and the fuel is free, the CEFC, by investing that money, has made $1.7 billion in profits from carefully chosen investments, money that actually goes straight back to the government's bottom line. So this CEFC is using public funds to take really good ideas in the renewables and clean energy space, help grow them into viable and thriving businesses, and it makes money for the government, because when these businesses make money, they pay some back. It is a terrific idea, and that is why Greens, Labor and the Independents established it. The government wants to repeal it, and has tried time and time again to repeal it. Because they've been unsuccessful in repealing it, they're now coming back with a different approach. And the different approach is to say, well, we know that the public likes renewables. We know that this thing set up by Greens, Labor and the Independents has been a roaring success, and the public wants it, but we can't repeal it anymore, so what are we going to do? We're going to change it. We're going to make the money available to the gas corporations. And so we're going to move to amend this bill so that the minister does not have the power to tell the Independent Clean Energy Finance Corporation how to spend its money, right? So that the minister cannot come along and say, I am going to define gas, maybe even coal, as a low emissions technology. We're going to stop the minister from being able to do that. And we're going to say to the minister, if you really want to take public money and put it in to a new coal or gas-fired power station, as he's regularly on the front page of various papers saying he wants to do, come back with a separate piece of legislation. But the Clean Energy Finance Corporation is the Clean Energy Finance Corporation. Don't try and use it as another slush fund for corporate mates to funnel money back to gas corporations, because that's what he's proposing to do. The Prime Minister is telling Joe Biden on his conferences, oh, we've got all these wonderful things. He doesn't tell him that we tried to repeal them. But what he doesn't say is that the only thing that this government, in all its time since it's been elected, the only thing that they've got that wasn't a Greens or Labor idea is their emissions reduction fund, which has saved barely 220 million tonnes in emissions and has saved only 200 million tonnes of abatement over its lifetime. The CEFC alone, last year, brought in 220 million tonnes. And the government's emissions reduction fund involves the public paying the polluters, whereas things like the CEFC make money by growing new technology and new businesses. Why on earth would you want to tinker with that and take money away from renewables and make it available to the gas and coal and dirty fuel corporations? Well, there can only be one answer, or two answers. One is you don't actually really seriously believe in climate change, and we heard from the Deputy Prime Minister that he doesn't care what happens in 30 years' time. He doesn't care if we go over that climate cliff and our kids are left to pick up the mess. So we understand why the government is moving this bill, because they don't care what's going to happen in 30 years' time. And the only other reason you do it is that your big corporate donors have asked you to. And those big corporate donors that pay $0 in tax aren't being asked by this government to pay their fair share. Instead, they're being given more handouts. Well, it's time to say enough for the handouts for the big corporations. The big corporations and the billionaires need to pay their fair share of tax. They need to pay a bit more so that everyone else can pay a bit less, and that's going to start by amending this bill.